Hello, Guardians. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. And it's about 6 a.m. on March 1st. I almost said February. And we're doing just the rawest of first impressions on Lightfal. And it's raw because I haven't gone to sleep yet. Because I'm still high off of the adrenaline from doing the day 1 campaign. And, well, it was interesting. Before I get any further, this will be your one and only spoiler warning. So if you have not completed the Lightfal campaign and you wish to do so without being spoiled, you should leave now. No, not later. Now. This is your last warning. So again, as I said, this is unscripted, raw, and completely unfiltered Destiny 2 Lightfal first impressions. And what I'm going to say is just the truth, and a lot of this has been going around already. And when you compare Witch Queen to Lightfal, there's a stark difference. I am of the school of thought, or the train of thought, that if Bungie wanted to, they could make Savathûn as a boss fight an entire strike, or even a dungeon if they wanted to. That thing had mechanics, and if you made it all the way to the end of Lightfal and you fought Callus, it felt a whole lot like just a really hard strike, and nothing more, right? Again, Savathûn could have been made a GM, like a fully fleshed out dungeon encounter if you wanted to. Whereas Callus, again, the only thing that made it difficult was the tormentors. You could kind of just plink away at Callus and he was gonna die. Now, I get the argument that maybe Callus isn't on the same level of difficulty as Savathûn. Savathûn had her abilities as a hive goddess, not to mention as a guardian when we fought her, whereas Callus may have been in a more vulnerable state. But even then, he had the powers of a disciple of the Witness granted to him. And we fought Rolk, and we saw how powerful he was. He was a raid boss, said to be the most powerful being that we fought and slain since, well, you know, we slew him, and we did, and then Callus came around, and, you know, we fought Callus before, albeit not actually him, but a robotic animatronic version of him, and I feel like that version was harder than the one that we ended up killing at the end of Lightfal's campaign. I could be wrong, however, in the end, it just didn't feel like a proper ending to Lightfal. And I may be wrong here, but it did feel awfully weird to have our ghost essentially betray us, although it was not its own prerogative. It was still weird. In the end, Callus was nothing more than a distraction for the Witness to essentially take the ghost as its own vessel and complete the link between the Veil and the Traveler. Now I know what you're thinking. Where the frick did the Witness go? I have no clue. Now I myself have read a little bit into raid spoilers. I will not delve into those here, so you are safe from those. Needless to say, it is an interesting raid, or at least it seems to be. Leaks can be wrong, so I don't want to assume that I know what is actually happening. But if what I read is true, the raid could be pretty bonkers. And it's good because, again, kind of hoping that they're saving a better ending for the raid instead of the campaign. You know, the campaign is kind of just the warm-up to what is happening presumably inside the Traveler and inside the raid, we don't know. And that's the fun part. But I definitely feel like more questions brought up than answered, right? And that's the problem with this campaign overall. Too many questions. I know Bungie has to save the Witness for the final shape, for the end of the Light and Darkness saga. It makes sense. However, this ending just isn't close to satisfying at all, and I know in serialized storytelling, the ending isn't going to be satisfying until we reach the end of the story. That, of course, being the final shape. All I'm saying is, I hope that the final shape is all it's cracked up to be, because it's going to be presumably the biggest ending and the biggest DLC we've ever seen. I mean, for all the times we've heard, oh, this DLC is going to make or break Destiny and Bungie, the final shape may actually be the DLC that does it. And it'll be interesting to see what Bungie comes up with. For now, though, I really enjoyed the more light-hearted approach that Lightfal seemed to take. The montage, or the training arc, mixed in with montages of our Guardian, essentially accidentally, kissing themselves, was pretty funny, if I do say so myself. And the season will be, although it kind of seems like it's a Hallmark story, with certain characters, I won't spoil too much of that either yet, if you haven't gotten a chance to do that. Good stuff there as well. But there's a scene in there that's particularly funny as well. All I'm going to say is, if Bungie can take a more lighthearted approach to this and start using Guardians dying in cutscenes more frequently and resin themselves, that'd be pretty cool. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about Lightfal. And, Strand, I really can't speak too much on it yet. I've only played Hunter, and it seems pretty fun. But again, we're in the early stages of the new build crafting 2.0, so we'll have to see what builds and whatnot come from it before we ultimately make a decision on whether or not Strand is good, although some builds I've already seen are pretty wild. Anyways, comment if you haven't already on what you think of Lightfal. Subscribe if you haven't. Also, a lot of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. And if you could leave a like to let me know you enjoy this content, it'd be greatly appreciated. But as always, know your view for me is good enough. I'll see you next time.